Hi guys, I'm making this video today because I kind of went MIA and I'm still kind of going MIA because of the whole motherhood thing. Lennon lately, basically we just found out a week ago that Lennon has type 1 diabetes. Kind of sucks. I want to talk about why we knew something was wrong. I had no idea that Lennon was diabetic. Nobody had an idea, not even the pediatrician. So if you have seen in my Instagram, if you haven't, I'll link it down below, but I was complaining that Lennon was sick. You know, I thought it was a cold at first, but he wasn't getting any better. So I decided to take him to the pediatrician, and now this was over 2 weeks ago. So basically the doctor just shrugged it off and said, oh, just give him Zarbee's. And like, I was giving him medication and everything, he still wasn't getting better. You know, like, he was not himself, he wasn't playing, he was very clingy, you know, he wasn't eating much. And I know something's wrong whenever Lennon, my son, doesn't eat. You know, he loves to eat, you know. I don't know if I mentioned this in the past and stuff, but you know, my child is a happy baby, and you know, I do follow my gut in a lot of things, you know, and I followed my gut, and I'm so glad that I did. So a week, I think, went by, a full week went by, and he still wasn't getting better. So I decided to go back to the pediatrician and complain again, you know, like, hey, he's not getting better, you know, he seems not himself, and he's starting to act, you know, very lethargic, you know. The doctors checked his ears, you know, and he had an ear infection, double ear infection. So they gave me antibiotics, and you know, antibiotics, the liquid ones, he was taking it 3 times a day, and I thought it was gonna be quick to clear, you know, because within the 72 hours, they start getting relief, you know, from the infection. But leading on, he wasn't getting any better. So he got the medication on Friday, and by Sunday he wasn't good. Like, he wasn't good at all, and he was very lethargic. He was not himself. He was very sick, you know. So Monday morning, I was kind of losing it. Like, what's wrong with him, you know, why isn't he getting any better? And I noticed that after breakfast that his lips and hands looked cold, like the lack of oxygen, and his breathing was fairly quick, and he was struggling to breathe. So that's when I freaked out. You know, I got a second opinion because my sister lives with us. So I asked her, like, hey, am I crazy, or does his like lips and hands look kind of blue, you know, and is he breathing a little bit crazy? And she was like, no, that's true, you know, like, there's something wrong, let's go ahead and take him to the pediatrician. So I called the pediatrician, they fit me in at 10 o'clock, you know, we rushed over there because I didn't want to go to the hospital, just because I didn't want to like spend all day there and it not be anything, you know. But I still followed my instinct, and there's something wrong because he was breathing really hard, and it was really sad. It was really scary, you know. So we decided to go to the pediatrician. He said everything was okay, like he checked his lungs, but he saw that he was struggling to breathe. He let us go, you know, and he said, if you feel the need that you have to go to the ER, go to the ER, you know. And on our way home, he was legit lethargic. Like, his eyes were like rolling in the back of his head, and he was not okay. So I waited an hour. I tried putting him down for a nap. He couldn't take a nap. He slept maybe like 20 minutes. And I decided to, you know, let's go take him to the hospital, because at this time, It was like around like 1 o'clock. I was telling my husband, and we were saying like, hey, you know, like this is not okay. And he was looking up videos of like, you know, a toddler struggling to breathe. So he had all the symptoms, you know. And at the same time, I was also texting my friend Caitlin, and her mom's a nurse. So basically, I was telling like everybody the symptoms and stuff. So basically, they were telling me to go take him to the ER and stuff. So we decided to take him to the ER while I was waiting for my husband to pick us up, because we only have one car. Lennon was very lethargic, and it was really scary. I called my sister Paloma crying, and because he was basically passing out, you know. I didn't know what was wrong with him, you know. And as a mother, that's like the scariest thing, that something happens to your baby, you know. And he's only 16 months old, and you know, all you want is for them to be okay. And I had no idea what was wrong with him. And finally we got to the hospital. You know, I carried Lennon to the car, you know, like before the hospital and stuff. And his diaper was already wet. A few like days ago, I was like really struggling with Lennon wetting the bed all the time, and I had no idea it was a symptom of diabetes. I thought he was just drinking too much water, and you know, he was just, I even changed diapers. I was losing it, you know. I didn't know what was wrong with him. So we went to the hospital. I was completely soaked in his pee, because literally I had no time to like change him and then go to the hospital. They took his vitals and everything. Finally we waited in like the pediatric section of the ER. It took a while. It took like almost an hour. And he was still like eating Cheerios and stuff. He was just like really struggling to breathe, and he was not himself. Finally, whenever we were like admitted, you know, through triage, whatever, they were checking him. They even did an x-ray and everything, and they automatically canceled out that he had pneumonia and stuff, which thank God. But they finally took his blood sugar, and I remember, because my son was like very like not about it. He wasn't feeling good and stuff, and like the doctor came up to us and they said like, you know, it turns out that your son has type 1 diabetes. And I can't even explain how I felt. I felt like such a failure as a mom, as like a person, because how did I not know, you know? And I had no idea what type 1 diabetes is, but it's not type 2, you know. I didn't cause it, you know. It's an autoimmune disease, you know. It's very overwhelming, because there's nothing that I could do about it. I couldn't protect him. I couldn't, you know, save him from getting this disease, you know, and he's still so little. It's just when I'm trying to get a hold of this whole motherhood thing, you know, this happens. And I'm like thinking like, why God, like why my son and not me? Because it's so cruel, you know, but I'm not blaming God, you know. And I thank God that he doesn't have like cancer, or, you know, he didn't die or anything like that. Like, he's okay now, you know, and there's, you know, there's medicine. But finally they admitted us to PICU, and it was horrible, because they were trying to get IVs and stuff, and they had to use an ultrasound machine, and it was very overwhelming. We had to all hold him down, and they couldn't find the veins and stuff, and his veins were so little, and I couldn't help it. I started crying, you know, and like the doctor saying, oh, like it's not like a big deal, you know, But it is a big deal when it comes to my child being in pain and not feeling good and not okay. It was a very traumatic experience. He couldn't eat, he couldn't drink. Finally, they let us give him Powerade and stuff, but he was breathing so hard. And I'll insert clips and like pictures of what I'm talking about. So if your child, if you experience any of these symptoms, like, you should take them to the ER a lot sooner. I'm pretty sure he started becoming diabetic like about a month ago, you know, at least 3 weeks ago, which kind of sucks. But his blood sugar was over 500. They were trying to bring it down. They had IVs in him and stuff. And he was such a trooper. And I'm so thankful to have a strong boy that forgives me every single time, because I'm not perfect. And every time, now that we give him injections and test his blood, he's such a trooper. I'm sorry that I'm crying, but I'm actually not sorry, because like, this is so scary. Right now he's napping, so that's why I'm making this video. I haven't gotten a chance to really sit down and talk, but we were there the 21st, and we got discharged on the 25th, I believe. Yeah, we were there 4 days, and it was very scary, you know. They kept on pricking him every hour, and then they were teaching us about like how much insulin to give him and how many carbs. And I will make a whole nother video talking about like what his lifestyle is, basically, how much insulin, how much, you know, basically he takes 2 medications. So he takes insulin, which is a fast acting insulin, and he takes also lantus, which is a slow acting insulin. So he takes 2 different types of medication. But it was a dark time, and it still is a dark time for me, and I can't even explain how Lennon must feel, and he doesn't understand. But yeah, we have a 16-month-old that is type 1 diabetic, you know. I'm learning. I'm only a stay-at-home mom, so like, while I'm at home taking care of him, my husband goes to work and stuff, and he's been helping me a lot, and like, my family has been supportive, and you know, same as my friends and stuff. But it's still scary. His blood sugar has been nothing but high since he's been diagnosed. Right before he took a nap, his blood sugar was 528, and I've been talking to the endocrinologist, and I'm waiting on her reply. I just don't really know a lot about this disease. I've been trying to feed him good, and you know, I have been feeding him good since day 1, you know. I wasn't just feeding him sugar or anything like that. I didn't do anything wrong of like taking care of him and stuff. He just magically had this autoimmune disease that killed basically the function of his pancreas. So now the insulin is going to help his pancreas and with the blood sugar. Yeah, so right now I'm kind of a hot mess. I kind of hate my life a little bit. Not for the fact that I'm a mother or anything like that. It's just the fact that I have to put my son through this, you know. But yeah, we have our you know, diabetic consult, whatever, on Friday, and then with the endocrinologist on the 11th, so that's next week. So hopefully we get everything settled. We really want to put him on a pump. It really depends on what our insurance covers, you know. There's something that really people don't really like to talk about, and I don't like to talk about it, but Right now, I have state insurance with Lennon. I wasn't on state insurance my whole life, so please do not judge me or anything like that. And I did work up until I got pregnant. So, like, I've been working since the moment I was able to work. And, you know, I paid my taxes and stuff like that. I'm not milking the system or anything. It's just, my husband right now, he is going to school, he works, and, you know, he's a veteran. So he had once he got out of the military, he's trying to find a new career, and his new career is becoming a pilot. So it's a little bit long, but very overwhelming because we don't make a lot of money. Right now he doesn't even fly for money. So money's tight, you know, and I'm not working because I can't afford childcare. And especially now, even if we didn't have the state insurance, there's no way that we could have covered his medication or anything. So I'm very thankful that we did qualify for his state insurance. I'm not really caring about mine. I'm mostly caring about his. You know, hopefully they don't cut us off, because there's no way in hell we could even afford to pay for, like, his insulin and everything. And it's freaking horrible how much they charge you for, you know, insulin and stuff. So yeah, I'm so thankful that we have insurance that covers it, you know. But I just want to make this video because, you know, it's very overwhelming. And if you have another 16-month-old or like a baby and stuff, no, you're not alone. I've been talking to a few moms, and especially this one mom, that she has a 5-year-old, and she somehow somebody tagged her on my Instagram and stuff, and I messaged her, and she's been very helpful. And I honestly don't know what I would have done if I didn't have her help, and then also my family. And I'm not okay, you know. It's very lonely and very depressing to deal with this, and I'm not like cutting anybody off and stuff like that, but I'm trying to get myself together, like get collected and not freak the fuck out, because I could potentially kill my own child, you know. But yeah, this is a video. If you have any advice or anything like that, please comment down below. Yeah, but I'll keep you guys updated. I think I'm going to talk about, after his appointment and stuff this week, I think I'm going to make an updated video on, you know, his dosage and like his blood sugar and stuff. And once basically I have it figured out. But yes, right now we are using the Freestyle Libra, whatever, on his arm. And that's a blood sugar reader, because not only do we have that, but I also finger prick him. And the finger pricking is more accurate, I feel. But we're using that, and, you know, he's using humalog and lantus as his medication. And we are using syringes right now. So our next step is for him to, you know, get stable and then finally get on a pump. And hopefully Lennon could live a normal life, you know. But yeah, until next time, bye.
That rock is still there by the time. What could you possibly need?